Alright, so this is going to be a quick video on how I trade VWAP. So as you can see here, this is the VWAP line. It's similar to a moving average, but it's much quicker and it reacts to price much better. So, and a lot of top day traders use it. So what I've been doing is testing it on cryptos and testing it on Dow. And for cryptos, what you notice is this is the sell that we caught all day today and last night. It broke through the VWAP line, retested it here. It didn't quite hit it, but it missed it by a point. And as soon as this candle formed, sold here. You just have your stop above the VWAP, and you're targeting these lows here because that was the trend line that broke. So we're targeting the bottom of that trend line. And then as you can see, it broke down, then tried to break back above it, couldn't do it, held it, went all the way down, expanded away from it, and then it hit TP. That's when it double bottomed down here, came up and broke it, retested here, and that's how we call it buys off of this entry here because we retested it, so it should go up and fill this move that happened here. And we're also at the bottom of this channel here. But yeah, that's running in profit right now. So it's the same thing with Ethereum, same trade that we caught. It broke VWAP, came up, retested it, bearish engulfing, sold here. Sold as this candle was forming, came all the way down, it kept retesting it, never broke it, bottomed out here, got out down here, bought up here, broke out of it, and you can tell like it's a real breakout when it breaks it with momentum. Like this is a big momentum candle, and that's the power of VWAP. Like if it's gonna break it, it's gonna break it with momentum. So you can see here it broke it with momentum, came retested it, and now it's trying to go up. Let's check Bitcoin. Yeah, that should just crack the highs right there. So that should be good to go all the way up. It might come down to retest VWAP after it does a little buy higher. But overall it's gonna hold above this higher low right here. So this is the plan for this week. So we're trading VWAP on the 15-minute on US30, and if you look at it, this is that 9:30 candle here. You already have your channel marked up. We call all the trades this week from the New York Open. So it bought out here. You can see it hit VWAP, kind of resisted it, then broke out of it. Could have caught re-entries here, went all the way up. And then after that trade, or actually before that one, I mean, you can see here is using the VWAP as support, so it's trading above it. So you want to be looking for buys. So this is New York session, the green session. So you can see 8:15 start to buy up. You could have bought here, caught this little buy, came, retested it. If you bought here, you might have got stopped out if you didn't hold this trade, because I mean you can tell this is a fake out because it didn't crack these lows here. It never cracked these lows or these lows, so that's still considered a higher low or an equal low. So this came right back inside VWAP. If you caught those buys, that I mean that's straight profit there. Pull back, held VWAP, buy here as this candle is forming. That's the whole New York session trade, literally. So I mean it's simple, like, and then when price is far away from VWAP, you know it wants to go back towards it. So you see at the open how this sold off. If you miss this sell off here, you see this candle combination here, buy back to VWAP. Buy as this candle is forming, buy there, stop loss below that candle. That's New York session still, then it breaks it, comes back below, and it just plays around VWAP, and then it just takes off. I mean, these patterns happen every single day because pro day traders use VWAP to trade stocks. So if we're trading indexes which contain stocks, that means the VWAP should work for us as well. There's even more of a possibility of it working. So even here, like you can see, you got the breakout, the retest here at 9:30, buy off this 9:30 candle off the retest, stop loss below VWAP. TP at this mid level, or you could have had TP all the way up here at the QP. Stop loss down here. So I mean that's clean risk reward. But yeah, I mean you can literally get in entries, just hold them until it breaks VWAP significantly. But I don't like to hold trades. Only thing I'll hold for now is crypto. But for Dow indices, I just intraday trade that. I'm not looking to hold that, so just looking for the trades off VWAP, and that's at the towards the end of the session when I was testing VWAP. That's how I clocked the sell here because we hit the QP. We didn't quite test VWAP, but we were below it, and I saw it was expanded away from it, so I knew we were in a strong downtrend. So, like I said before, I had a bad entry over here, but then I caught another entry over here at the close of this candle. Take it down to this midpoint. Small stop loss. That's an easy trade. But let's check crypto one more time. Yeah, it's working out perfect because I mean you can see here you got counter trend line, right? If you want to call that a counter trend line, it's trading below VWAP, and then VWAP starts to flatten out. It breaks out of VWAP, comes back to it, retests it, and you get that strong push out of it. This candle combo right here, this candle here, and all these ones right here is a strong combination that wants to go up. And currently, we're cracking these highs. We've already cracked it with that test, but if we close above these highs, this should just fly. And this is Ethereum, so I mean, let me see here because you can. This is something you can do as well. You draw the consolidation box, right? So now you know we broke through VWAP. Now you're waiting for it to pull back to retest it, and then if it cracks these highs, if you didn't catch entry in here, you can catch another entry at the top of here at the breakout, and still have the same stop loss here. That's basically a 1 to 5 risk reward, because we're chasing this overall counter trend line for this overall channel. Because you can see here, it trades below VWAP, all below it, then it hits the bottom of the channel, breaks VWAP, and goes all the way up, literally all the way up to the top of the channel, breaks it. This is the sell we caught last night, all the way to the bottom of the channel. So it just broke it with momentum, retested it, so it should go all the way up to the top. And I mean, like, that's the thing too, like the risk to reward on these trades are insane. So it's like if you lose a few trades, it doesn't matter. Your risk to reward is so good. So like for example, I took buys here because I wasn't patient. I didn't wait for it to hit the VWAP, so I took buys here, right? I had stop loss around there. Boom, got stopped out. Just waited to see what it's gonna do. It cracked VWAP, came and retested. I'm like, okay, this wants to sell now. So sold here, stop loss up here, TP all the way down here. So I'm like, okay, that came down, and when it came down into the same amount that my stop loss was when I was at 1 to 1, stop loss to break even, stop loss here when it created this lower high, stop loss there, came down, still was holding VWAP, stop loss there, equal highs, still stop loss here, came down, tap TP, we're out of there, right? All these positions where you're moving your stop loss, you literally could have stacked in positions as well and literally compounded the whole account off of just that movement, just off of it holding VWAP. And it's the same thing that happens every single time, guys. So like you either can move your stop loss in the profit and add positions, or just move your stop loss in the profit if you want to be conservative. So it's the same thing that happens here. You can see you're trading below VWAP. You got the huge momentum spike. We didn't really come back to test VWAP till up here, but as you can see, you already know that it's trading above it. It's been trading above it for a while, so you're just looking for pullbacks. So you got this railroad track here. So say you entered here, right? You got buys here. You got your stop loss below this momentum candle, and you want your TP at the break of a counter trend line in a sense. So this is the counter trend line. You could have one there. So Say your TP is up there, right? You got your stop loss below that candle. That's a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Look what happens. It literally flies through. It never comes back to test VWAP because this trend is so strong right now. It hits TP and then eventually comes back to test VWAP. As you can see, that bullish engulfing candle, you could even bought more here. After you exited this position, you could have bought more here. Stop loss here. TP at the top here. Because you got this miniature counter trend line in there. So you could have had TP there, tight stop loss in here. So you pretty much got a 1 to 1.8 or 1 to 2 risk reward, right? That would have had TP, or you could have had TP all the way up here at these highs at the top of this channel. I mean, and that's even better risk reward, 1 to 3. So it's like even if you take losses, it doesn't matter because your risk reward is so high. And then as you can see here, it's just constantly respecting it. Respect, and then you got that momentum break like I was talking about, then came all the way down below. Momentum break again, retest, should go all the way up. But yeah, guys, let me look at Bitcoin one more time here. Take all this off. And it works. It works with trending instruments, and it's mainly for intraday. And that's the main thing about this is when you switch time frames, like with the moving average, you switch time frames. The moving average switches. This line, this VWAP stays in the same place no matter what time frame I go on. So I mean, it's kind of useless the higher the time frame you go up. I say anything above like I'd say like a 2-hour chart is useless. But for these lower time frames, especially when we're trading indices, that's what it's prime for. Because I mean that's literally how we caught. I caught the sell here at the open. And I was testing it. You can see this is the sell. This is 9 o'clock. You can see the volume spike here. 9 o'clock volume spike, and we're below VWAP, and we ranged all Asian and London session, right? So you take the sell here because you know the momentum's coming in because you can see that volume candle, and you know New York Open's coming. TP here, quick TP 1 to 2 risk reward. Or if you took it all the way down to the midpoint of the next level, I mean, off of this breaking that QP, then I mean that's even more profit. That's a 1 to 4. And then caught it at the bottom because we saw it hit this midpoint here, and we're far away from VWAP, and we formed a W here. We formed this little W, so I think I got in like around here, and I had stop loss below this bullish candle, the first bullish candle formed. So I set through a little drawdown, and it was under, because I had TP up here at VWAP, and it was under a 1 to 1 because I took TP off here when I saw this bearish candle close. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I was waiting for it to sell off because I knew we were below VWAP. So what happened was I took sells here, and I just got in a little bit too early. I had stop loss here, and I got stopped out there. Got back in sells, closed this candle. So still below VWAP, and I had TP all the way down here, but as you can see, we closed here, so I took profit off somewhere around break even because I wasn't trying to like over leverage the account or over trade, so I just took it off at break even. But you can see that would have hit TP. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll probably make a second part to this video later on. But yeah, I hope this helps you guys.